Today we're looking at this monster of a Bluetooth speaker. This is the Ultimate Ears HYPERBOOM, the largest and I think the loudest in the Ultimate Ears range. Now the problem we have with this one is that the power connector is damaged. Let me just zoom in there a little bit. I don't know if it's going to focus, but there we go. You can see that a few of the connectors have been broken. Let's make a start, and I'm going to do my best to try and keep it on the desk so you can see it. We're going to start by trying to get into this thing. I can't really find anything online about it, so we're going to have to improvise and see. You can take this off. See if these just unscrew. Ah, yes. So they unscrew. I'm going to have to do this on the threads initially. I don't want to do that. Ah, there we are. This is probably not the best way to do it. I'm not putting too much pressure on it. So I'm just putting very light. Enough to get it to turn, but to try and not damage the threads. I'm sure there's a better way to do it than this. And then now that it's up enough, I can just turn that. Okay. I'm wondering if this entire thing will come off. Let's take that out of there. Does this come out? Oh, yeah, it's another connector. Service. Interesting. I don't think that just comes off. That would have been too easy, wouldn't it? Oh, wouldn't it be lovely if that just came off? If we move these bits out of the way, that would okay, let's see if we can look in here now. Yeah, so there's two clips there that it's out of. There's got to be just another clip in there. Let's remove the fabric a bit and see if we can get some more access. Okay, we might have enough there just to see what's going on. So, comes out of there. These have been broken now. Don't see any screws there, but maybe there's screws in these feet. I need to maybe take off one of these feet and have a look. They're just glued on, so yes, there is. So I've removed the 4 screws, but this is just not moving at all. Let's check there's not more than one. Okay, so there's 3 per foot, that's why it wouldn't come off. Do the last one. Okay, there we are. Now we can see, and there's a screw there, which is why it wouldn't come off. So we'll unplug this at the back. That's a tight fit. There we are. Now this should, let's put it on its side. Move these out of the way. This should now get the spudger. That side, and we do the same this side. Yeah, unfortunately they've just got a little bit, I'm not sure if that was me that cracked those or not, but as you can see they're a little bit damaged. So let's take this out and take this out. Will that come out? There, that was an effort. Let's get this out of the way. Let's have a look at the connector. It just comes off. Okay, there's a little bit of some whatever that is to keep that on. I think you can get a better view of it now. There's the charging LED, that's useful. So, yeah, so there's a little bit there, so we should see a charging LED. Right, I think I'm going to have to scrape this off. If IPA would do anything to that. Let's find out. Let's put a little bit on in this. I don't think it's like hot glue or anything, but I wonder if the IPA would. Oh yeah, maybe. We'll use a little bit of low melt solder. There we are. Finally. Okay, let's put a little bit more flux on. Okay, so we have the new part. Took a couple of days. Let's get it hooked into here and the unit put back together again. Okay, let's fit this. Let's make sure we get it the right way round. And in it goes. There we are. Nice clean fit. Let's add some flux here. If we look at the old one, you can see that as well as being the pins being broken, it's actually cracked. So something fairly serious has happened to that. Okay, zoom much further out again. Let's get this hooked up. Okay, so that's the board fitted and is looking good, and I think we're all good to go. I think what I'll do is I'll just plug it in, make sure it works before we put it back together again. Right, let's see what happens when we plug this in. So we've got a power supply. This is a Dell power supply. I think this should be okay. It's a 19 volts, one of the old style ones, but yeah, it should still be good. So okay, it's board's moving about a bit, but that's okay. I don't know if you can see that, but nothing's happening. There's no light anyway. Let's get this just a bit better. There's no light, so let's just try power on. So there's no light coming on there. The table's shaking a wee bit. Okay, all the cables look good. So it's only really this one that's the important one, I think. Let's do a little test, make sure the voltage is getting through. The one thing I was thinking about was the center pin in this is quite far back. I didn't know whether it was getting all the way down to the connector. Let's zoom in a bit and then we'll just adjust the... So you can see. Now this is quite tricky to do, but there's two test points here and here, and my hand's in the way. So put that one there, and that one there. Yeah, 19.6. So the voltage is getting through. We can test from here. Now that's the center pin, so that's, oh, my hand's in the way again. So that's not getting anything. Let's take this off. I'm wondering whether there's something wrong with this, that the power is getting through to the side, but it's not getting through to the pins. I'm looking at the board, and when we look at the test points, there is voltage coming through, but I'm not convinced that it's coming through to this connector. I'm not sure whether that's because maybe the solder hasn't gone through properly, or there's a break in the connection somewhere. Okay, so I do a load of testing here to see just where the voltages are going. There seems to be three different areas where the voltage can exist. The pin in the center, the ground on the outside of the connector, the metal part, and a voltage on the inner part of the connector. Although some of these seem okay, there's no consistency with the voltage across the pins, and the voltages are not making their way across to the connector. That's the negative one. So that's negative. This should be positive. Yeah, there's no positive. It is getting 19 volts to the test point though. I think we need to reflow these solder joints first and see if that helps. We put this on the negative on the outside. This should be 0, 0, 0, 0. This should be 19. And that should be 19. And it is. So the voltage is good. Okay, let's put it back together again. Now, the first thing we need to do is to screw this plate back into here. Now, normally you would do this with this off, but I might try and avoid taking that back off again if I can. I'm just going to do it this way. Now, I think that's okay. It's all secured. So we've got quite a few of these to do. Let's just try and get through it quickly. Let's plug it in and let's hope. Here goes. So a light. Yes, that's it charging. Excellent. I wonder if it'll switch on.
Charging. Please wait.
Okay, let's see what the battery... Obviously the battery's so low it's not going to power up. I was hoping that I could find out what was in the battery, which you do on these by pressing the plus and minus together. Okay, apparently this takes 5 hours to charge. So I'm not waiting that long, but what I will do is leave it for about an hour or so, and then we'll come back and see how far it's got. Okay, here we are. So let's power it up. See how it goes. Okay, seems good. Let's see what the battery's at.
40% charge.
Okay, 40%, that's not too bad. Let's connect the Bluetooth. And paired, excellent. Right, let's try and play a piece of music. Right, that was quite loud. For some reason it was up at full volume. Very happy that I've managed to get this working. I think we'll call this one a fix and we'll leave it there for today. Thanks so much for watching and we'll see you in the next one.